So Hare Krishna devotees, today's topic is a very interesting one. We were continuing how Vyasadeva started reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam. He started compiling Srimad Bhagavatam, and then we see that he also compiled stories of Mahabharata, so that the less intelligent people can understand through the medium of stories. And then when we proceed further, we see that Vyasadeva is starting to feel incomplete. And so this question is for all of you. Maybe you can respond in the chat box. First thing, have you ever felt incomplete? And second thing is, when you feel incomplete, what do you do so that you come over that problem? The question is simple. Have you ever felt incomplete in your lives? And when you have felt incomplete, what did you do? So that's your question. You can respond, your answers on the chat box. I will look into it as we proceed further. So here we see Vyasadeva has got everything. He is the literary incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he is feeling incomplete. And here in the translation, it is very clearly mentioned that he is fully equipped with everything required by the Vedas. You know, so he is not an unintelligent person who doesn't know about the secrets of life, who doesn't know Vedic Shastra. He is the compiler, but he is feeling loneliness. So I was listening to a lecture from Braj Bihari Das Prabhu from ISKCON Mumbai, and Prabhuji was mentioning that this loneliness issue, which is there, it is there across the globe, and especially after this Chinese virus, the coronavirus, which has come into light, people became very much fearful and lonely. So it is very important that we must know how, why we are feeling lonely, first of all, and then how can we come out of this loneliness. So that will be the real help for us. And that is why we look into the scriptures and understand. So Prabhuji was further sharing that this particular thing has been taken very seriously, and probably not in India, but there are countries like UK, countries like Japan, where you have the ministers who are appointed officially for loneliness, to take care of loneliness. I'll just share my screen. Just confirm if you're able to see the Google screen. Are you able to see?
Yes, Prabhu.
So if you see here, if you type on Google Minister of Loneliness UK, so there comes a name, Tracy Crouch. So Tracy Crouch, now she will serve as the Minister of, see here, goal will not to create more loneliness, will serve as the inaugural Minister of Loneliness. So she'll be the first Minister of Loneliness. It is that important. So people are trying to, try different ways, to the extent that, they are creating department in the ministry so that they can deal with the loneliness. Okay. And then Prabhuji says there are few reasons why people feel lonely. Very first reason is when they are able to, they want to do something, but they are not able to do. Okay, they start feeling emptiness, loneliness, incompleteness. Here also we see that Vyasadeva's purpose was to write the Vedas and the scriptures so that, it is full source of knowledge and everything, but still he was feeling incomplete. Okay, why he was feeling incomplete, we will come to know a little later. But yes, when he was feeling incomplete. So Prabhuji says, Braj Bihari Prabhuji says that, we feel lonely when we want to do something and we are not able to do something. Like, for example, there was one person who wanted to become a film star. He tried hard, he went through a lot of struggle, but he couldn't become the film star. And finally, he became a grandfather and became old. So he was sharing that, I want to become a film star. Maybe in the next life, I will try to become the film star. So that is one reason people want to do and they are not able to do. Now, apart from that, there is another second reason for feeling emptiness or loneliness. The second reason is, they are able to do what they want to do, but there is lack of deep relationship. Okay, I will share another screen of mine. So Prabhuji was mentioning there was a lady called Marilyn Monroe. I think many of you will know this, and you would have seen this Hollywood actress photo. So she became very popular. She became so popular that she became the symbol of sex at that point of time. And when somebody asked, how are you feeling now? So she says, no, I'm still feeling very lonely and very empty. And I'm not very comfortable. So then they asked, why? Because you are very popular. Everybody wants to see you and you are so beautiful. You are a sex symbol. So she says, I have become a symbol. A symbol means somebody who is an object, who is not real, who is not a person, and people don't care for the objects. And that is why people want to just enjoy me, but nobody wants to love me. So that love is missing, and that is why even she was feeling empty and loneliness. And we see that at the age of 36, she finally committed suicide. So you see that you can become whatever you want to become. You can become the most beautiful, most rich, but still that emptiness is there. So today we are coming to know what is that which causes emptiness, and how do we come out of that incompleteness which comes in our heart. There is a third example Prabhuji mentions. He says that there was a devotee couple. They became devotee later on, but initially for the 25 years, not 1, 2 years, 25 years, they were going to the temple of Mahalakshmi. Every year, religiously, they used to go to the temple of Mahalakshmi. They got nice wealth, everything. But still, both of them were feeling emptiness in their heart. So they started praying to Mahalakshmi, and that was the best thing they did. They started praying to Mahalakshmi, saying that please do something which is good for us, because we are still feeling emptiness. We come to you every year for last 25 years. So please do something so that we feel good about it and we don't feel that hollowness in our heart. So that time Mahalakshmi blessed them. And then the next day they came in touch with the devotee during the book distribution. And after that, when they got in touch with the devotee during the book distribution, they visited the temple because the devotees gave them the temple card. And when they visited temple, they found it so happy, and they joined ISKCON, and they became the initiated devotee couple of ISKCON Mumbai. So that is why that's how we see that even though we have everything, still that incompleteness was there. And how that incomplete was fulfilled? When they came to Krishna. So that is the whole point. In our lives, the incompleteness are there, but that can be fulfilled only when we take the shelter of Krishna. You must be wondering, why only taking shelter of Krishna? Why can't I do something else and feel blessed? Because there are so many courses which are going on in the market. Isha Foundation is there, Art of Living is there, Brahma Kumaris are there, you name it, Osho is there, one crap. So there are so many things which are there. So why should we come to ISKCON? Why should we come to Hare Krishna movement? So the answer to that is, you see here, when Vyasadeva was feeling incomplete, he did not go and join Brahma Kumaris. He did not go and join, Isha Foundation. He did not go and join Art of Living. Of course, not to talk about Osho Foundation. So he, on the instructions of his guru, and again, that is very important, not on his own, but on the instruction of the guru, he started compiling about Krishna, right, in Srimad Bhagavatam, and then he felt completeness in his heart. So we can also feel completeness when we turn towards Krishna. And that is the answer, that when you're feeling hollowness, incompleteness, when you come towards Krishna, you feel completeness. In reality, we are Satchidanand. We are full of knowledge. We want Ananda every time. Okay. But the problem is that we are looking for Ananda, we are looking for Sat in the Asat, in the temporary things. Somebody wants to become very, very high position, senior management in the office, and he's trying very hard. Somebody wants to become CEO of the company. Somebody wants to become very beautiful, and he or she is going through a lot of cosmetic surgery so that they look very pretty and beautiful. So people are trying different ways. And you see that Ministry of UK and Japan, they have created the department, the entire politician, the leader, the what do you call it, the member of parliament who can take care of the loneliness. And I'm very sure that they will not be successful in their efforts, whatever they try to, because that is all material. It is all asats. The only formula to become successful is that when they come to the shelter of Krishna, when they start understanding what is Sat and what is Asat. So there is a very small analogy Srila Prabhupada says, that he says, when a fish is in the water, the fish is very happy. But if you take the fish out of the water and you tell the fish that I am going to put you on a very nice, comfortable sofa, and you are going to get nice French fries to eat, a nice masala dosa to eat, and I'm going to give you some Mysore Pak in the end, plus I'm going to switch on the AC, you will be giving the nice blanket, the fish will still be very uncomfortable. Okay. So please forgive me. The masala dosa and everything was my addition. That was not in the analogy which Srila Prabhupada gave. But yes, the point here is that whatever comfort you want to give to the fish, she will not be happy. The fish will be happy when you put the fish back in the water. The same way, because we are not material, we are spiritual, we are spirits. We become happy when we get connected to Krishna. And that is the formula to become happy. So one last point, and I will end with this. In the age of Kali, the problem is that we are very, very forgetful. We forget. And that is why we are not able to understand. We come into we come under depression, we come under stress. We forget that we are not this body, but we are the spirit soul. And our only purpose of this human body is to make such arrangements so that we can get united to Krishna. And that is the ultimate success. We keep forgetting, and there are various reasons for that, because we don't read Srimad Bhagavatam daily, we don't hear the lectures daily, and we are running behind these material things, blindly thinking that that will make me happy. But how can that make us happy? Because that is material. Can you name me one person who has become happy only by earning money? You can go to the richest and richest of the people and you ask them, are you happy? They say, no, I'm not happy. That's the answer, because they are not connected to Krishna. But when you go to any devotee, whether they are rich or poor, when they are connected to Krishna, they are joyful. They are always happy, and that's a proof that when we connect to Krishna, we become happy. Okay, so there was a time Prabhupada is writing in his in his lectures. He's mentioning that there was a time when the people had very, very sharp memories. The shlokas and all those things were not required to be written. That is why this is called Shruti. It was just heard by the disciples from the Guru, and that was sufficient. He gives one example in his lectures. He says that not much behind there was like 200 years back, the Pandits, the Brahmanas, they used to be having very, very sharp memory. So once on the banks of Yamuna, there was two Britishers, they were fighting. So when they were fighting, there was a lot of arguments which went on for hours, and then finally the case went to the court. And when the case went to the court, the judge asked the Britisher that, do you have any proof for this argument which has taken place? So he recalls and he says there was a Pandita who was there, who was listening to us. So they called that Pandit, and the Pandit said, yeah, I was there, but I do not know English. I could hear them what they were talking, but I could not understand anything because I don't know English. So the judge said, at least can you recall what they said? So Pandita said, yes, I can recall every single word what they said. And then the Pandita spoke in English. Even though he does not know English, but he was able to recall. The point here is that just 200 years back, people had such sharp memory, but now we are losing our memory, and that is the reason we are not able to remember that we are the spirit soul, and our main business is to get united to Krishna, make all the arrangements um, which will unite us to Krishna, because we forget that. So it is important that Prabhupada is mentioning that what we eat, what we think, what we do, because of all that, our thinking, knowledge, and remembrance, everything depends upon that. Krishna gives the remembrance, and if we don't follow, what are we supposed to? Like, for example, the greatest harm people do when they feed their children non-vegetarian food, when they feed their children food which is not prashadam, when they feed their children and their husband, or maybe husband feeds their wife, food which has got onion and garlic. These are such harmful things for your mind. They just tear apart the brain tissues. So how can our memories be very sharp? So the point is, we have to come back to the basics, that we have to offer before we eat. We have to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra in the auspicious Brahma Muhurta. We have to read Srila Prabhupada book. We have to hear from the great acharyas, and we have to follow the instructions of the senior Vaishnavas, so that our lives are not complicated, and we are very, very comfortably aligning our position to Krishna consciousness. And in the end, happily, we are going back to Krishna. What to talk about the end? From the time we surrender to Krishna, we become happy and joyful, because everybody has got facility to do things which will unite them to Krishna. It is not very complicated. So with this, I would like to end, keeping note of the time. Today also is the disappearance day, of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Acharya. So Guru of Srila Prabhupada, we have a lot of points to share there, but I'll keep it for all the devotees. And if the time is permitted, probably I can share a few, points related to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So with this, I would like to give a pause here. Along with this, I pray that all of us, make quick progress in Krishna consciousness, helping and cooperating with each other. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you, Prabhu, for your nice session early in the morning, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And the one topic